So, I'm going to be starting this video out a little bit wrong, in terms of how it's meant to go on YouTube, and, which is a bit ironic considering the subject matter of the video. Here's the title. You clicked on this. You clicked on this and you thought, oh, well, I'm considering that. Why aren't most content creators successful? Why do they fail? And I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to be extremely frank in this video. I'm not going to have the fast subtitles and fast moving graphics and like all of that random shit. I don't care about that. And I feel like you also should not care about that, at least sometimes. Why do content creators fail? That's the primary question we are going to be asking. And on top of that, I mean, it's such a loaded question, isn't it? Why do content creators fail? It's nuanced. I feel like to understand this question, we have to ask another question, which is, why do people do content creation? Which sounds simpler, you know? It's like, well, I just really like Minecraft, and I wanted to make Minecraft gameplay, and, you know, that's fair and good. I don't think a lot of the people who fail create content because they enjoy creating. Which sounds silly. That sounds crazy. Why would someone create anything if they don't enjoy creating? If they don't enjoy the act of creating or the finished product? Why would they do that? The answer is to this question, for a lot of people who fail at content creation, is they care about being famous. That's why they want to do content creation. Which, I mean, this is sort of an open secret thing. No one ever talks about this, right? No one ever wants to say, well, I kind of did like the idea of having thousands of stans. Maybe they didn't say that specific. Maybe the people don't think that. I don't want to be Dream. I think a lot of people like the idea of being famous. And that's why they make YouTube videos, because that's appealing, right? You get money and friends and fans and everyone loves you. Unless you're Trisha Paytas. A lot of people want to be famous. I mean, not even want to be famous, like the idea of being famous. They like all of the prestige that comes with the position of being a popular YouTuber, and not like the actual making videos. That's why you see like tons and tons of small streamers. They pop up everywhere. It was super big in 2020 and throughout 2021. Just a bunch of small streamers swimming fish. They're all live on Twitch with 3 viewers and a dream for 8 hours, and they get nothing, and they quit, and they have like one video on their YouTube channel. The answer with this is like, a lot of people don't have a lot to say, which sounds mean, right? I don't mean that in a, these people can't be good conversationalists and partners and friends and have deep thoughts about deep things, or even normal thoughts about normal things. I think that these people don't have anything they want to create. They don't have anything they want to say to everyone. And if they do, they don't have the tools or enough real care to do that. Right? And that's a crazy thing to say. That's a scary thing, because I just told a bunch of people that they actually don't care about their primary hobby, which I want to say, I don't think you don't care about your primary hobby. I think a lot of small content creators, small streamers, small YouTubers, and I will be speaking from like primarily the perspective of a small streamer right now, because that is much more of my lived experience and people who I have met. But I want to know, I see you out there, small YouTubers, 12-year-olds who post their Minecraft clips, their epic gameplay on Valorant. I see you. I think these people don't want to create anything, not really, or at least that's not their primary goal. Their primary goal is fame and fortune and all of the pretty things, right? And you know what's not pretty? Sitting for 9 hours and editing. You know what? You know what's not pretty? Coming up with an idea for a TikTok every day and then spamming like 5 TikToks until your brain wants to melt. I don't do that. I know of many people who do that. Content creation is not pretty. It is not glamorous in majority. The people who are at the top, that is glamorous, and even they have terrible problems, and a lot of it isn't glamorous because there's so much you have to edit, and you're lonely because everyone treats you like some sort of paragon, of either virtue or sin. Why do you create? Why do you create? Why do you want to be a content creator when you don't have anything to say or anything you wish to create? And I don't mean this in like a mean way, in like an accusatory way, in which you need to righteously fix yourself. I don't think you need to fix yourself, but I do think you need to stop and reconsider what you are spending your time and energy on, and why you're upset about this. I mean, I understand why you're upset about this. You're streaming for 8 hours to 3 viewers. Or you're posting a video and it only gets like 10 views and you're sad. That's okay to be sad about, but I want you to think about the fact that you haven't really done anything to get those views, right? Like, I don't mean this in like a mean way, but your poorly edited COD gameplay, let's pretend you're in 2014, your poorly edited COD gameplay is not going to get you very far. You have to put thought into the things that you create. And some people who do YouTube regularly and consistently and don't get views, like that also ties into that. If your goal is creating plus growing, you need to be creating with thoughtfulness, with intention. And you the viewer, probably not you. You might not be an aspiring creator. You aren't doing that. Why aren't you doing that? Why don't you want to do this? Your hobby that you enjoy. Why don't you want to do that? Maybe you don't want to do this for the right reasons, which is the thing you have to consider, I think. And I'm not saying this from a place of malicious intent, which I keep having to reiterate because it's just such a topic. I think it's okay if you don't want this, if you don't want the actual parts of this that are important, you know? I think it's okay if you just like the idea of being famous and not editing for 9 hours or posting every week or coming up with funny TikTok ideas and then posting them and then thinking, I only got 100 views. How do I improve? Rather than, I only got 100 views. I'm sad. And then lay in your bed. Which, both of those can be true. You could just lay in your bed sadly and then think, how can I improve? But regardless, the reason why so many content creators fail is because they aren't thoughtful enough about this, which is gonna make some people a little bit mad in the comments. If you're already mad in the comments, hello, I will read you and then I won't respond, but have fun in there. I think if you want this to be your career, you want to be one of the big guys, one of the medium guys even, one of the guys who can pay their bills, sort of, and has multiple areas of income, you can't just stream every day, or once a week, or erratically. You can't do that. It won't work, you will be sad. Or even, you will do the better thing, which is realize, I either cannot do this right now in my life, or I don't care enough to make that fit into my life. I don't care enough to do that work. Which is hard. That's a hard thing to grapple with, isn't it? It's hard to think, man, I guess I'm not made for this. I guess I don't want to be a dream or a foolish or one of the medium-sized guys who we don't name. Finzer or Harris Heller or one of those guys. I actually just kind of like going to college and I'm pursuing a career in, English. And I think I'm gonna just go work at like a whatever English people work at. That's fine. That's okay. I understand a lot of people who are smaller content creators who are failing are like really young. They're like little guys. Either they just started college or they haven't started yet or they're not even finished with high school. You can explore all kinds of things in your life. But this video is answering why so many small creators fail. Why so many content creators fail. And of course, I'm not talking about all content creators. We could talk about the more nuanced lens of like creators who like get their first bump of viewership and then they fumble, or they were super popular and then they fumble. But that's not the point, is it? If you're here and you're here for like the actual content creator stuff, Like you're an aspiring content creator and you've got all your overlay set up on Twitch and you're coming up with this epic stream schedule and whatever. You need to slow down and think, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to be here and do these things? If you just like streaming, that's fine. But also, don't get weird about the numbers, because ultimately, if you're not aspiring for more, the numbers don't matter. The other things about it should matter, not the numbers. And I want to say this entire thing is sort of a self call out, because while I am not the sort of person who hates, or rather doesn't want to create, or values the numbers more than the creating, I do value the numbers, not more than the creating, but I do value them. I value this becoming a job and all of that stuff. But making sure you actually care about making things is important. That was all. I hope you enjoyed this random stream of consciousness. I'm gonna edit it down to be more intriguing or easier on the ears for YouTube, but it's not made to be a good YouTube video. I don't want this to be made to be a good YouTube video. For the sole fact that I want this to be made to reaffirm that it's okay to just want to create things. You could just want to create things, and I can create smartly on some other video. But this one's gonna be chill. Anyways, that was fun. I hope you enjoyed. Watch some other videos. Subscribe, like, dislike. Oh, that button's gone, so it doesn't matter really. Anyways, you won't be validated by number go down or up. It was number go up. Oh well. See ya.